Thunder, heavy rain, thin line between joy and pain. It's a long, strange trip, it's all insane. You ain't never gonna be the same. Living life through the night, thin line of a lightning strike. Sometimes the only light, when the moon is tucked away, pistons pumping, minds are racing. It's hard to sleep, man, when I'm shaking. Bad news surrounds me. It's always found me creeping up when things are good. Yeah, the dark days find a way. Loud thunder, heavy rain, thin line between joy and pain. It's a long, strange trip, it's all insane. You ain't never gonna be the same. Living life through the night, thin line of a lightning strike. Sometimes the only light, when the moon is tucked away, the camera captures all the things that make us turn from what we see. It's always rolling, it don't stop rolling. I haven't slept in 3 damn days. Yeah, but who needs that anyway? Loud thunder, heavy rain, thin line between joy and pain. It's a long, strange trip, it's all insane. You ain't never gonna be the same. Living life through the night, thin line of a lightning strike. Sometimes the only light, when the moon is tucked away.
Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed the intro. That was Mr. Cody Jinks, Loud Thunder, Heavy Rain. Sometimes I choose songs because they speak to me and I think of Tyler. So welcome everyone that has joined us this evening. I see we have 70 people in the chat tonight. My name is Duchess, and this is Duchess Discussions, where we talk about true crime, corruption in law enforcement, and missing cases. And tonight is Sunday night, where we talk about Tyler Doyle, who's been missing since January the 26th of 2023. I want to welcome AJ, Always Something, always a special guest. Thank you, AJ, for being here.
Definitely.
And welcome to all the members. I see so many wonderful members here tonight. Thank you so much for being here and supporting this mission to help find the missing. Hey, MJ. Hey, Donna. Good to see you, Roxy. Hey, Donna Chambers. I'm glad you finally made it over to the Discord. Hey, B. Hey, Tony Hardy. Hey, Cassanne, Kayla, Taylor. Hey, Shayla. Hey, Christina. Lisa K. Good to see you. Hey, Miss Allie. Hey, Rosie. Hey, Donna Blackman. I hope you're doing good. I've been praying for your aunt. Hey, Debbie Johnson. Hey, Misty. Hey, Kim. Hey, Jordan. Good to see y'all. Hey, Miss Becky. Cam Shaft. Hope you're doing well, sir. Hey, Velvet. Hey, Lisa Blake. Hey, Casey. Hey, Miss Audrey. Good to see you. Hey, Michelle. Hey, Kat. Hey, Audrey. Tracy. I appreciate y'all joining. Hey, Amy. You're from up my neck of the woods. It's not too far from where I grew up. Hey, lean on me. Hey, Brandy. Good to see you. Hope you're doing good. All right, Nightbot. Behave yourself tonight. Y'all let me know if Nightbot gets crazy. Hey, give me the seaweed. I'm still going over those documents. I've had a lot going on this week, so you'll have to forgive me that I have not gone over. That is such a very thorough document. And I don't know all the phone numbers that are on there, but I'm still going over and looking at it. Hey, Jessica. You are so very welcome. Give me the seaweed. Hey, Jana. Hope you're doing well. Hey, Stephanie. Hey, Sherry. Hey, Amanda Poe. Thank y'all so much for being here. And don't forget to like this stream and share this out, because we're going to talk about a few important things tonight. AJ, is there anything that you want to start out with? Wait, Camshaft says, hey, Duchess, will you give my son a shout out? Of course I will. Cameron, I hope you're doing well. Your dad wants me to give you a shout out. So a big hello from Duchess and all the moderators and members over here. So AJ, tell me, is there anything you want to start this conversation out with tonight?
Actually, Shayla just put herself in a hot plate. So let me go ahead and get this out the way.
Okay, wait. Shayla on the hot plate. Hang on.
Shayla just put herself in a hot plate. Yeah, see this? Okay, so let me tell y'all about Miss Shayla. We literally, well, the mods made memes to where it's her husband sitting there with his arms crossed saying, can we get married now? Because I had to threaten to ban her on her wedding day this past Saturday because she wouldn't leave the group.
Oh, it's Cameron's birthday. Happy birthday,
Happy
Cameron.
birthday, Cameron. Oh, yes, Shayla, I'm coming for you.
I need to get him a birthday song. I'll have to work on something, Camshaft. I'll get him a little birthday thing together. Hey, Nubby's Catfishing. Thanks for being here. Shayla.
Definitely Shayla. Congratulations, though, Shayla, on your wedding.
Yes, congratulations. I wish you guys the very best. And happy birthday to Cameron.
Happy birthday, Cameron.
Happy birthday, Cameron. I don't know how old you are, but don't wish to be older, because I promise you'll regret it. Stay young as long as possible. Take it from me, because I'm almost going to be a half a century old. So I promise you, you don't just stay young. You want to stay young as long as possible. That's right. The show couldn't start without you anyways. true story. True story. We got to have all the people here.
And she was such a beautiful bride.
Yes. So, give me some updates about what's been going on in the group this week. I've seen lots of interesting posts that have happened. So give us an update.
I think we're still getting things like cleaned up. There's a lot better conversation. There are some questions about the redactions in the emails that are in the drive. The emails were sent to Mr. Bowles. So there's just certain things that can't be out there yet, you guys. And I need everybody to kind of just trust me and Duchess and Shay that we know what we're doing. You know, you can't just always show your hand. There is evidence of Ronnie Floyd, well, basically proof of Ronnie Floyd saying that he has lost certain pieces of evidence or can't find stuff. Mm-hmm. But it's just, we can't really go, that's about all we can say on it. We can't really go into detail of it because it'll affect the integrity of the case. So I got like 30 something messages. So I made that available on the drive. And I'm just like, I just need you guys to just trust that we know what we're doing. And
right. And
don't always show your hand.
You know, a big congratulations to the group. We have 20,000 plus members in Discovering the Truth for Tyler Doyle. A big shout out to all of the admins and moderators that are keeping this thing going. And we really appreciate everyone over there that is working so diligently to help keep everyone in a centralized place, keeping everyone informed about what's going on. We really appreciate you more than you know. And so I just want to give you guys a big shout out.
Yeah, I couldn't, there's no way I could, it's just not going to happen. I couldn't do it without them.
Absolutely. And that's why we want to, you know, I always like to give a shout out to the admins and moderators for all of their hard work. And we really do appreciate you guys so very much. And speaking of Robert Bowles, that brings me to just a little thing that I want to add in real quick. Alvin Taylor used to be over the DNR. I think he was a colonel, and he served the DNR. I think he worked for 42 years. But he only served as the head of the DNR for about 7 years, and he retired in 2019. And Robert Bowles was brought in. He is from Mooresville, North Carolina, but I believe he lives in Mount Pleasant with his family. And he was brought in as an intern and then eventually took over that position. And this is Robert H. Bowles.
Don't get it confused, though. He can lose that position.
So, you know, this is the address where he's at in Columbia at the Rembert C. Dennis building, where we were talking about having our silent protest outside the building. And as you see at the bottom, it has his email address and phone number. I encourage anyone who feels like they want to reach out to ask this director about what has happened in this case. This right here is how you can reach him. Another interesting little piece about him was I read this article, and in this particular article, Norman Pulliam of Spartanburg, he is on the board of South Carolina DNR. He is a chairperson there, and he called Bowles a man of great integrity who will lead this department to new heights of natural resources conservation. And when they went through a national search to find a new director, Robert came out on top. He was the unanimous choice of both the selection committees and the full board. And he will continue the great leadership that was exemplified by his predecessor, Alvin Taylor. Well, we're going to find out.
I know that's right.
We're going to find out about the integrity of this great man when we figure out how he's going to handle this situation. So don't
I
forget
don't think
this
he thinks he
face.
has to handle it, Duchess. I don't think that he feels like that he has to do anything, because the last email that I sent to him, I mean, there's 2 emails and they're on the Google Drive. And the last one I told him specifically, you're ignoring the situation. These officers, I don't care how you put it, that's a reflection of him. He's the leader. That is a direct reflection of his leadership.
Absolutely.
So,
And he's going to have to address it. He's going to have to address it at some point. We've got to light a fire under him,
and
because
that's why I made the
nothing's
post.
going to happen
And
unless.
that's why I want people to email. When you do not respond to something that's considered a fake altered phone log that your officer accepted as evidence and made a public statement on, saying such, that this is how he came to the conclusion of no foul play, it has been brought to his attention. It has been brought to your attention. And like I said, if that is ignored, you are telling the people of that community that that is acceptable. And how safe do you think others are going to feel?
That's exactly right. Puppy, don't cry. Come here. You got your blanket. Sorry, y'all. Y'all know how it is with the princess. She has to have attention, especially if I'm on a live stream. She needs my full attention. Ronnie Floyd is over District 4, and that encompasses like 4 counties.
Ronnie's not over District 4. He is Ronnie. I don't. People keep saying this, but Ronnie is just the lead detective on this case. If you really go look, Cadones is over District 4. I thought
really?
Ronnie was too.
Yeah, that's what I was told, is that Ronnie is like in the leadership position.
Nope.
Because
Cadones is over District 4. Cadones and another lieutenant.
Well, speaking of,
and she says that in that news. Yep. And I had to do it, Duchess. I'm sorry, but I had to. I was so mad seeing that.
Puppy, yes, they're asking about you. Did you know they were asking about you? Brandy wants to know how you're feeling. She's feeling much better. She's over her little virus thing. She goes to the doctor for a checkup tomorrow to get her shots and all that good stuff. So, yes, baby. She has to be in on the conversation. But thank you for asking, Brandy. I appreciate it. Let's see. Miranda says, the same douche answer Sled basically gave me. They shrug their shoulders and say, so what, until they're forced. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Crystal, go do what you need to do. I totally understand it. Thank you. I'm so glad too. I was getting worried about that. So speaking of Gadones, I saw that you posted a video in the Facebook group. Can I play that?
Of course.
Okay. I'm going to share my screen, because I still want to know where that money came from, Robert Bulls. I want to see a printout of the itemized list of where that money came from, because you do realize that we have FOIA'd for that information from SLED, because they have a missing persons fund. You guys didn't ask for any assistance. And we also know that Caroline Pinckney asked for the South Carolina DNR to disclose if they released any funding from their missing person funds that they also have, just specifically for their department. And no funds were dispersed from there. So did the money just fall out of the sky? Because I feel like there has to be transparency when you're dealing with a state law enforcement agency. You can't just be like, well, we spent this much money, but we don't have to show you where it came from or anything like that. I mean, I don't understand that at all. That's why this whole thing with Gadones, it irritates me. All right. So we have this clip right here. This is the clip you're talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let me see if I can get over here to it.
Let me see if you can get it louder, because I couldn't.
Let me see if I can get it to play here.
Okay, so there's obviously some confusion about what color the boat was before.
The whole clip.
Hang on. Is this where it starts right here?
No, that's a different clip. I don't. Yeah, that's that one. He's talking about the cost of fuel and here. Let me.
Yeah, I don't know why it's not loud.
It's not on the group either for some reason. But she'll be loud when she comes on.
Doyle. The Jones estimates hundreds of thousands of dollars were spent on this specific search.
I had to. I'm sorry. As soon as she said hundreds of thousands of dollars was spent on this specific search, bullshit.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
I remember that interview. I think I actually played that video on one of the live streams. And he just sounds ridiculous.
He does. And not to mention, I just posted in the group, Duchess. So we knew that they had said that they went up on the 31st for supposedly in a plane, supposedly looking for Tyler. Why they would wait to the 31st to take a plane up when he went missing on the 26th, make sense. But we could never access their actual flight time. Well, I finally got into it and I accessed it and it shows 0. So tell me, did they fly or did they break federal aviation laws and not log their flight time? Because it says flight time out 0. Make that make sense. Show me this. I want to know where this $100,000 went. And I'm daring them. I'm praying that they actually try to claim this on their budget.
Yeah, that
and
is.
If y'all didn't hear it, she said on this specific search, she emphasized that it was that search he claims that money was spent on.
Right. I was trying to see if I could find that video of where he was talking at, but I don't remember the exact date.
Hold on,
of when that was or what news station it was. I'm trying to.
Let's see. So it is going to be. Okay, W something 13. I can't see what the title is. Okay, so WBTW. Here, I'll send you the link. It's actually very interesting, especially when he starts talking about how his officers are taking this so personal. So they're going to continue searching for Doyle.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, I know. But to let her say it, she said, they tell me that they're taking this personal my ass, taking a personal seat, sitting there eating. There was nothing about this whole thing that they took personal. So I sent you the link on private chat.
Okay. Yes. Okay, here we go. Yeah, let's listen to this. again. Surely they don't think we're going to forget about this, right?
They better know by now that we ain't forget about nothing.
This morning with more information on SCDNR search efforts. Claire?
Melissa and Aaron, I spoke to a lieutenant with SCDNR who works in Region 4, which is all the coastal counties here in South Carolina. And he says this is not the first time he has seen a search like this, where they know where the boat sunk, but only some are recovered while others are not. Lieutenant Andrew Godone says he, the captain, and one other lieutenant oversee most of what goes on in Region 4, including supervising case investigations, communications with family members, and setting up search efforts.
Yeah, right.
Okay, wait. Let's stop right there.
Yeah, I knew you was going to stop on that part because I had to listen to that about 20 damn times. Because I don't know that the families ever spoke with this man.
Well, and he says that he and one other lieutenant are pretty much in charge of everything.
Yeah,
I guess that
Floyd
one
is
person is Ronnie Floyd.
No, Floyd is not a
No?
lieutenant. Nope.
Okay, well then who is that person? Because
I don't know because he fails to mention it, and that's what I want to find out. Because I'm
well, I'm going to make it my life mission to find out who that person is. Because why wasn't he here helping oversee this case? How did Ronnie Floyd just get assigned to this? Okay, now
one like this, we do daylight.
I got to rewind it back
Some
to here
counties here in
because
South
I got to hear
Carolina
that
sunk,
again.
But only some are recovered while others are not. Lieutenant Andrew Godone says he, the captain, and one other lieutenant oversee most of what goes on in Region 4, including supervising case investigations, communications with family members, and setting up search efforts.
Typically on one like this, we do daylight till dark. Our guys are showing up, getting boats ready, and then starting until sunset when it, when you can hardly see it. So you're talking about those.
That's bullshit.
That's bullshit. And did y'all catch that yawn that he just covered up? He can't even be on the damn camera. I don't know if y'all caught it, but I caught it. Like, this man is a joke. If he's lieutenant over Regional 4, he needs to be fired.
Try to break them down sometimes. I have one crew run 6 hours, another crew run 6 hours.
Lieutenant Godone says their search team is very grateful to the many organizations like the U.S. Coast Guard, the Brunswick County Sheriff's Office, and North Carolina Marine Patrol for stepping up to help in the search for Doyle. Godone estimates hundreds of thousands of dollars were spent on this specific search.
This is a part of our regiment of what we do to serve South Carolina now. When you start taking in the cost of fuel for airplanes and helicopters.
Okay.
That makes me mad every time I hear it. Oh,
yes,
Lord.
we check to see all their names and their rank next mission. Thank you. Yes, we definitely need to do that. Because I want to have an understanding. If Ronnie is Kevin's boss, then I need to know all of. I need to have the order of things. Because I want to know why he was never down there. I want to know why he's never called the family. I want to know, Andrew, why haven't you, sir, called this family to explain all of these things? You know why? Because you can't.
And then man hours. You're talking about a lot of money, but that's not what's important to us on something like this.
Godone's told me searches like this become personal.
Okay, I'm done with
Personal
that.
to his officers, and they likely will continue looking for.
Hey, did y'all catch that? Did y'all catch that? The money is not important. So what the hell did you bring it up for? Make that make sense. What was your purpose of bringing that up? Because she didn't ask about it. Maybe if they had done what they said, half of what they said that they were doing, maybe the family might have more answers. Because if he was overseeing something, he must have been seeing from far away.
There's no transparency. It seems like one person's covering up for what the other person's not doing instead of just addressing it. And I'm going to tell you how we know that this is a reoccurring theme with the DNR. This isn't like a one-off situation where, I mean, look, they're too lazy to search. I'm going to tell you what, they spent more time out here eating the family's food and jiving with everybody about how, well, I can't wait to retire, and complaining about how their daughter needs help because she wrecked the car and she had to go down. They had to go down there because my daughter, she wrecked her car. And what does she do? She has to call me to complain about it. But my daddy, but my daddy would never talk about me that way. And I can't believe that y'all were out there on the job in a missing persons case complaining about your daughter who is alive, that how she needs you because she wrecked her car. You ought to be grateful that she's alive and that she needs you. You're pathetic. You're pathetic, Ronnie Floyd. It makes my blood boil. And I'm going to show you right now exactly what I'm talking about. So this little ditty right here, this came from Fitz News. This is when Alvin Taylor was still the director. Okay, this is dated April 14th of 2014. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'll try to blow it up as much as I can. But this letter right here talks to Representative Finley, the Honorable Kirkman Finley III, House Agriculture, Natural Resource, and Environmental Affairs Committee, South Carolina House of Representatives. And this letter was sent and said, I know last week you received an anonymous letter criticizing the leadership of DNR. And when I received a copy of this letter, I immediately forwarded it to all DNR employees with an explanation attached. Okay, I feel like this is weird because why would you send it to all the DNR employees? That was my first question, because if there's a problem and somebody has a complaint about the DNR, if the hospital, if somebody writes a complaint to the hospital and they're complaining about the leadership of the hospital, does the hospital send that letter to all the staff of the hospital? Put a 1 in the chat if you think that the hospital administration is going to send out the anonymous letter to all of the employees of the hospital about the criticizing of, I'm just asking for a friend. Because I just feel like that is a weird thing to say. Do y'all think that the hospital would share the anonymous letter criticizing the leadership of the hospital with the hospital employees? But here, when this person received the anonymous letter criticizing the leadership of DNR, they sent it to all the DNR employees. Does it make sense?
It's the most corrupt shit that I've ever seen in my life.
I just think this right here, it just sings a tune that is so out of tune right now. It's making the hair stand up on the back of my neck. Like, I haven't even got to the guts of this. And this is the director. The director is saying, I immediately forwarded it to all DNR employees with an explanation. I regret the necessity for this, but I believe that my responses cover these issues thoroughly. This sounds like I need to let you know that people are calling us out for the stuff that we're doing, so you need to straighten up because they see you.
They're about to see him again. So Finley is
Ding,
the
ding,
one.
ding.
Okay, so remember not too long ago, Duchess, I was telling you that I had found a report and I was looking for it again. I couldn't find it. Finley is the one who initiated the original investigation against South Carolina DNR for misappropriation of funds. He's the one who started that whole thing. because people was personally reaching out to them, talking about the leadership, talking about how the funds were being used, things like that. That's somebody we need to contact.
Absolutely. Hang on one second. I need to answer this message real quick. Okay. Let me go over here to the chat real quick before I get into this document. Yeah, Jenny, it should be private information. Like, it seems like they would want to like handle that from an administration point. It does sound like a brotherhood. It sounds weird. Bertie says, Dutch, what does DNR do and what is some of their responsibilities? Well, DNR is the South Carolina Department of Natural Resources, and they are created to administer and enforce the laws of South Carolina relating to like wildlife, marine resources, of course, natural resources, conservation, and laws specifically assigned to it. And the DNR is comprised of different sections. Like there's a law enforcement division of South Carolina DNR. There is like a marine resource division. There is like a land, water, and conservation division, and there is a wildlife and freshwater fisheries division. And that's all in the South Carolina DNR. And each division has like functions and powers basically provided by law enforcement. So I could probably drop a link in the chat that would be able to kind of give you that. You could go over there and read it. I just dropped it in the chat for the State House Gov codes, and that'll kind of give you some more information on that, Bertie. But mainly wildlife and conservation, not missing people, if you get my drift. Like, yeah, they have law enforcement officers, but, you know, I just feel like their training needs to be more. I mean, Ronnie didn't even know what NAMUS was, you know, and you know, but back to this real quick before we get it, because I'm going to talk about that also. In this document, all the way back to 2014, when Alvin Taylor was in there, and by the way, when Alvin Taylor stepped down, there were people that thought the reason that he was stepping down was, you know, Monkey Island. Remember, we discussed that $1.4 million over a 15-year period. South Carolina DNR stood to make $22 million off of this deal with them. They've been there since 2002, so they've definitely made their 22 million. Where's that 22 million gone? I want to know. And Alvin Taylor, you know, he was the director when all of this was going on. So a lot of people thought the reason that he was stepping down is because of a lot of controversies he was involved in the DNR. Because a lot of these suits that you were talking about, AJ, yeah, Alvin Taylor was involved in that situation. Yep. So, but he said he was just going to retire because he wanted to spend more time with his wife and his grandkids. Of course, because that's how they do it. So here he says that here he shows where he sends to all DNR employees. He feels it's his responsibility as your agency director to keep you informed so that you are not left in the dark, and that you deserve to hear this from me and not the street or rumor mill. I have always been open with you about the state of our agency, and in that spirit of quote, end quote, openness, I have attached a letter that was recently sent to the governor's office. Although the letter writer is anonymous, I have also attached responses to the allegations in that letter. And of course, it goes on. And this letter was written because Governor Haley, was at that time. And it says this letter is very concerning, a very serious DNR issue that evidently you are not aware of. Otherwise, this situation would not have been allowed to continue for as long and as freely as it has been. Colonel Chisholm Frampton has repetitively been allowed to sully the reputation, morale, and credibility of DNR and its officers. Every respectable officer who has ever worked with him or for him knows him to be the most corrupt, incompetent person to ever wear the uniform. He has made a career of taking credit for others' work and blaming others for his mistakes. Everyone who interacts with Frampton knows he's an embarrassment to the department. Everyone, that is, except for Director Alvin Taylor. There is strong evidence and agreement that Taylor has spent his entire career covering for Frampton, i.e., making excuses for him, promoting him, and truth be known, lying for him. As Frampton's last arrest for beating his wife proved, Taylor will stop at nothing to protect him, which is why there was never a legitimate investigation. To say anything negative about Frampton, no matter how true, means instant retaliation from Taylor, as he absolutely refuses to see or hear the truth, hence the reason no one feels safe to say anything. The cost is too high when a career is at stake. Put a 1 in the chat if this sounds like something you think is happening right now.
That's exactly what the hell is happening right now. So anybody that don't put a 1, their fingers is broke, because that's exactly what's going on. There is
Did
no
you
way
see why
that
it was imperative that I bring this letter up? Because this is simply a rinse and repeat.
That's exactly. There's no other way to describe it. I mean, that is just how it is. And you know what? We ought to put that letter on a billboard. I swear to God, we should.
Because
I don't care what it takes.
I'm here to tell you right now, Robert
Bulls,
Bowles, if you don't address the situation that's happened in the Tyler Doyle case with your officers, and you don't take this seriously, this is what it's going to look like for you. You're going to be another Alvin Taylor.
If he don't address this situation, I will take on a second and third job to pay for billboards myself and put every single email up, and it won't show nothing but that. Because you cannot ignore the community. This is not one person. This is not 2 people. We have thousands that are telling you this is not right. I mean, I think let some enemies of mine ever move to South Carolina. I promise you I'm going. I mean, come on, man. This is, y'all are leaving bodies at the bottom of the ocean. Like, none of it makes sense. None of it makes sense.
And this is quite a laundry list of corruption right here.
You think?
But you know what? I've got a list too. You want to see it? You want to see my list?
That's an interesting, familiar face of someone doing absolutely nothing. I can't help but wonder if he just decided one day that he was just going to go work from being a gym teacher to a DNR officer, just because, I mean, he knew that he wouldn't have to really do anything.
And yes, all 3 of these have different things on them. I mean, if you want to know what a laundry list is, why would you cover up? They didn't allow Brad to dive on the sonar image. said DNR would dive, but they never came, waited 3 days. Well, said it wasn't Tyler Doyle. Said Brad Smith did not give him the SD card with the sonar images on it in person the final day of the search, will not return the SD card to Brad.
Let's not forget, he seems to hide things from himself. So, I mean, who knows?
Yeah, according to what I heard, he,
Me too.
yeah. So, and he will not release the photos in the FOIA.
Because he does not want anybody to say, wait a minute, dude, it might not be Tyler, but it's still a body. So why didn't you dive on it? That's why he's not releasing it.
Told the family Tyler drowned and was dead 2 weeks after Tyler went missing in the Little River
and to
Inlet.
go to church.
And Tyler has never been found.
I would have looked at him and told him I'm an atheist. And I'm not. I would have said that anyway.
And we're going to the page 2. Did not release official phone data records. Instead, he released the edited phone records from Christian Holden in the FOIA. Obtained official AT&T phone records for Tyler Doyle on 2/6/23, but he did not disclose this information to Linda Doyle, Tyler's grandmother, via phone after she asked about them
but you're skipping a whole part. Why did he obtain Tyler Doyle's? Because Tyler Doyle's wasn't the records in question. Christian Holden's was.
Hannah, quit. Hannah, stop. I'm going to start laughing, and I'm trying not to. Stop. Look at Hannah's comment. Oh, my God.
I just seen that. I like that. But, I mean,
Hannah.
The glass house is there. Like, the man is, it just, and let's not forget, I found this out earlier today too. So apparently he inserted himself. I don't see how he's still the lead investigator, because once he took a screenshot of his own personal cell phone and included that screenshot in the FOIA of the evidence file, he should no longer be the lead investigator because he inserted himself.
He can't even secure evidence.
He inserted himself as a party of the investigation when he did that.
I mean, when somebody gives you evidence from a search and rescue, you take it immediately and secure it because that's what you're supposed to do. Right? Yeah, and just like Camshaft said earlier, he disrespected Danny Jewell by not allowing him to drag his nets for Tyler 3 days after the incident, and the officers also threatened that they might take Jewell's boat, issue a fine, or revoke his fishing license if he did it against their wishes. Oh, but then there's a page 3. He didn't set up a command center for Tyler's search, and he made Linda Doyle responsible for writing down every person's name who was out on the water searching for Tyler. Robert Bulls, I want to see the DNR documents where this is protocol, that this is how y'all do. This is how y'all conduct official searches for people, is that you put the family as the responsible party while you're out there getting paid. I demand answers. I'm a tax-paying citizen in this county. And supposedly, you're quite the educated man. I understand you went to Wake Forest. You know, I have friends that have graduated from Wake Forest. My ex-father-in-law, who has passed on to be with Jesus, graduated and played basketball for Wake Forest back in the 60s. So, yeah, I know people. I'm from that area, sir. That doesn't mean that you're capable of doing the right thing just because you have a great degree. I expect more from you because you do have a higher education than Ronnie Floyd. So I expect you to do the right thing. I mean, he allowed an unskilled young boater to conduct a major search effort with no search and rescue training, but yet he wouldn't let Brad assist in even diving to help secure a target so that they could make a recovery. He didn't even require this unskilled young boater to report back to DNR or turn over any information or the decoys or any items that were found directly to South Carolina DNR. No, you just let him go do whatever he wanted to do because you were too busy telling Brad what he could and couldn't do. Look, here he is in his diver gear, or whatever the heck he's wearing. I've seen him in other photos with his diver gear in the water, but yet he was out there and he did not even go out there to dive. It must be the kidney stone situation. I don't know. Excuses. That's what I'm hearing. Excuses. It just frustrates me, y'all. I'm sorry. I get really emotional because I feel like I'm having to do this song and dance to get these people's attention, because this is what this letter is all about. Listen, he drove his state vehicle to Florida with his wife and son in it. There he was involved in an accident, found at fault. Taylor covered for him. He was arrested and charged with hitting his wife. And there was overseeing a sham of an internal investigation. SLED was never asked to investigate or a polygraph done, even though Frampton has forced officers to take it before. Ain't that something? Do as I say, not as I do. And we all know the outcome of what that would have been. We have had officers forced to resign or retire for far less. Not so for Frampton. He gets special treatment. This anonymous letter lets me know right now that this is somebody on the inside. Okay? This is not just some Joe Blow citizen off the street. This is somebody with inside knowledge that knows what's going on. And he's already said people are afraid to speak up. That's the good old boy system that we're talking about. If you're not from South Carolina, you may not know what the good old boy system is, but this is what that is. I know something on you, or I can end you. I can make you quit your job if you don't do what I need you to do. So you're going to stay quiet, or you won't be able to work in this county again. You won't be able to work in law enforcement again, because I know people. That's just like Murdoch. It's the same song and game. And it happens a lot. Not just in our state, though. In Kentucky, Tennessee. There's other states, too, I promise you. This is a crime, y'all. And I'm sure as we go on down here, look, promoting to people, look, they're all puppets. This number 4 gets me right here. Immediately after Frampton was appointed colonel, he's appointed colonel by Taylor. They began creating and promoting new captains in positions that were never captain positions before. Why? To provide cover and support for Frampton, because Taylor knew that the field considered him weak and incompetent, and he needed additional support at the captain level to help cover for him. What do these 5 captains have in common? They're all puppets for Taylor and Frampton, and they have little to no field experience. How do you be on the job for 17 years and not know who NAMUS is? That's how. This guy's a racist. There's been payoffs. He gets a salary increase to over $100,000, but has done nothing to deserve it. Wow. Sincerely, active and retired DNR employees and concerned voters. That's who wrote this letter, guys. Look at that. I told you, as soon as I started reading this letter, I was like, this ain't just some Joe Blow. These are people that know and are victims in the system. Oh, and look, I see Luke Rankin on here. He got a copy of this too. So Luke Rankin knows. I guarantee you he remembers this. They are ruthless and masters of deception, which is why no one speaks up. We are sick of it and need relief now. We felt our only hope was to appeal to you. Listen, when you work for the DNR and you've got to call out to the governor because your own place of employment will not take you seriously, do you think they're taking the Doyle family seriously?
Do I really need to answer that? That was a sarcastic question, right?
I mean, it makes me want I'm fixing to cry because I'm so mad right now.
No.
I'm so mad because this tells me everything right here that I knew all along. And Robert Bulls, if you don't stand up and do the right thing, somebody's going to force you to retire too. I'm just saying. Are you just going to be the one to sweep stuff under the rug? Because I'm inclined to believe these people over Alvin Taylor. And I don't even care if there's people in the chat or whoever's watching. Y'all don't have to agree with me. This is not an echo chamber. These are my personal feelings just from reading this letter. Like, my blood pressure is up. Because if this will happen once, a leopard doesn't lose its spots. This is why people can't get help in this state, because you got people like this abusing their own system who they're law enforcement for. They will step on their own people's necks to get one over on them. And that is dirty. And it's disgusting. So, Robert Bulls, you need to clean up the DNR. Because I know for a fact there's good officers that work for the DNR. And this letter right here proves it. Because I guarantee you these people have tried to speak out and probably called it injustice, just like we're having to call this injustice situation to light. I guarantee you there's been other cases in the state of South Carolina where somebody's gone missing or something has happened and it was not taken seriously, it was not investigated properly, and people were silenced. It's got to stop, guys. And that's why we have this channel. Because if we don't stand up and say something, who's going to do it? Like, these are the actual employees. Look, they even sent it to all the newspapers. They sent it to all the board members. No wonder he had to send it to everybody in the DNR, because they were certainly going to find out about this, wasn't they? Whoo, doggy. I'm speechless right now. I can only imagine. Let's see, who's the officers? Gary Sullivan, Mike Sabaka, Tim Baxley, Billy Downer. Let's see. And Robert McCullough. So this is his letter. Excuses, I'm sure. I apologize, but I just had to get that out there. That's why it's important to email Robert Bulls, because he wasn't around when all of this mess was going on. So, Mr. Bulls, we're expecting a different outcome this time. And that's why I'm going to need you to step it up. I'm going to need you to step it up and look into this and call to action the people who didn't do their jobs and give justice to this family and reopen this investigation. Because the people who didn't do their job need to be held accountable.
And let me, I need to step in right here because I made this post in the group earlier today. If you're going to email Mr. Bowles, please don't email craziness, because the last thing that we need is somebody just thinking we're just a bunch of mad people that have no, like,
you saw how the letter was written, right, guys? I mean, it was matter of fact, to the point, and it gave specific information, just like I gave on these specific things about things that have not been done. And listen, there's probably more things that can be added to each one of these clips about things that were not done. We could call in other people that were in on this case, like Kevin Pardue, and the things that happened with him. Like, we can make a list of things. There is a way to format that and that's what's, things are being done.
I mean, I told everybody in the group, I don't care if you just email Justin Tyler to let him know how many people are back in this case, but please don't email talking crazy.
Yeah, I mean, we need him to take us seriously, and we need him to know the facts of the situation. And that's why these live streams are very important. If you need any information, or you want to, you know, if you have questions, like you're writing a letter and you just want to make sure that whatever it is that you're wanting to state is correct, like, you can probably message some of the admins or mods, or, you know, just send us a message and say, hey, I'm writing this letter. I just want to make sure that I'm saying everything that I need to say. Or, you know, is this did I get this particular piece of information? I just wanted to ask, you know,
I have the one pulled up that I wrote.
Because the facts matter. The facts matter about what's been missed in this case. And there's a lot. There's a lot that, I mean, he didn't even secure the evidence. He just basically thinks that we're out to vilify him. And it'd be different if we're just out here name calling, talking about the way he looks, and yeah, he does some weird stuff that I think's weird, like his Indian Robin Hood outfit and all of that. I mean, I don't understand all of that. Listen, if that's what you want to do in your personal time, fine, but don't be mucking up missing cases. Like, act like you've got some dignity and integrity and respect, and that you're proud to serve this community, instead of complaining and whining and not doing your damn job. Okay, sorry guys. I haven't eaten dinner. Can you tell? I'm feeling hangry. I think I need a Snickers. Somebody get me a Snickers.
It's weird to me, because I have the email pulled up that I wrote. The very first email that I wrote him was on October 4th. And Ronnie Floyd brought the phone records 4 days later. So I don't know if he paid attention and then just took it as a joke, or if that one has nothing to do with the other, but I know he hasn't responded. So I wrote another email. And I just told him, like, what in the AT&T records were not really included in the AT&T records, like the map of Tyler's boat going down. Like, there was 4 reports, and we know this because we called. What was the purpose of including a map showing Tyler's boat going down where it's not even where Tyler's boat went down? There's so many things that have not been answered. And my thing is this: if he would just answer it, maybe his answer, which I highly doubt, but just maybe, his answer would show us, okay, well, this makes sense now, so we can X that on out of the list. But they're just ignoring it, like people are going to go away. Well, we got 20,000 people in the group, and I'm sure we have a bunch here that are not even in the group. So can you imagine getting 20,000 emails, even if it just says justice for Tyler? Somebody's going to have to answer.
I agree. Thank y'all for the Snickers. I appreciate y'all. I just, if y'all don't agree with me, I mean, let me know, but that's just how I feel. I feel passionate about it. I just want this family to get justice. I want Tyler to get justice. Give me the seaweed. They won't let you in the group. I'm sorry.
What?
Give me the seaweed said that we won't let her in the group.
Message me after the live.
I think we do much better working together. We've got too many people working against each other, and we have to come together for this family. And I appreciate everybody that has come together, that wants to see this through, because really Tyler is the one who matters. I just put my personal differences aside, with people, because I'm not here I don't want to fight with people. I really don't. Not even with the people that have banned me from their groups. Like, I don't even think about them. I don't have time to focus on people that hate me or that are after me because they think that I'm this terrible, fake, whatever, these weird names that I get called. I can't even keep up with it because I don't think about that. Like, I just forgive people and move forward because I don't have time to focus on that, because then it distracts me from fighting for Tyler. And Tyler is the person who matters. None of the other stuff matters. I'll put that email back up. Hang on, let me get over here and grab it for you. There it is. It's bullsr@dnr.sc.gov. There you go, Mickey. Yeah, 100%. Nope, we sure haven't, Maddie. Right now, we're just working on getting justice for the family. To get answers, we got to call the people into account for the way this case has been handled, and that's what we have to do, because right is right. That's right, Miranda. Maddie, there wouldn't be anything left right now. You know this, right?
Angela Harrell, that is a perfectly said statement.
That's right. If it was an accident, it can be accepted, but there's way too many variables that need to be proven otherwise. Exactly, Angela. And the family is willing to accept that. We've talked about it many times. The family is willing to accept that there was an accident, but they've just simply asked for a Christian to come forward. They would like to ask him questions. They would like for him to be willing to be open because they need to be able to resolve these questions in their mind. And we also need for, the governor and Robert Bulls to explain, what took law enforcement so long to get there. Is it because they just assumed that he drowned, and so therefore there was no rush? Because what if that gun accidentally did go off and then the gun left the scene? Like, is that protocol, Robert Bulls, or do you know?
That's what I said in my email. That is exactly to a T what I said. I specifically asked. I said the response time of law enforcement was notably delayed. Is this standard procedure? Hypothetically, what would have been the protocol if Tyler had been found with a gunshot in his back? Given that law enforcement did not respond until hours later, by that time, Christian's gun had been removed from the scene. That's the one I want him to answer.
Cam Chef says, can we talk about all the weirdos in the group posting lately?
Oh my God.
AJ, I'm going to let you take it from there, honey.
So I don't, it's no secret that there's definitely certain people that have left the group that don't like me. They like me when they're a member of the group. And then if they do something stupid and they're no longer a member, then all of a sudden they don't like me. But here's the thing. I have tried to minimize it as best I can. But let me explain something to y'all. If you come in there saying some dumb stuff, it's a Facebook group. Everybody in that group pretty well much knows me by now. And if you don't, you will. I don't hold my tongue. I'm not going to sit there and play piddle paddle with somebody. I'm going to tell it like it is. I'm going to tell you off, and that's just how it's going to be. Don't start no S. There won't be no S.
period. Ain't nobody in there to do anything but what's best for the outcome of the investigation for Tyler. That's all I care about. I'm not going to sugarcoat nothing for nobody. So if you come in there talking mess, I'm going to talk it back. And I promise you, I can probably do a better job at it.
So did I see you post in the group that somebody was saying that some lady said they were accumulating things on you because they have a lawsuit or something?
No, that's not what it said. Is what it said was, first of all, they're from Emily's group. And I want to go ahead and get this out there too. Nobody has
whose group?
Hold on, Duchess. Nobody has anything against Emily. But when you leave the group because you're into it with somebody else and you don't even come and speak to me, the creator, so I can try to fix it, you just abandon the group, then that's abandoning Tyler, and I don't play that game. So with that said, this person, when I said CH, Christian Holden, this person sent somebody else a message and said, can you please send all of her comments to Christian Holden's family? Okay, well, that means that you're taking up for Christian Holden. And you can kiss my ass because that's never going to happen on my end. That's never going to happen. Even if we find out that the cab report was wrong and he didn't fake his phone bills, I'm still not going to apologize. You know why? Because when somebody walks up to you and asks you about their missing nephew, that you're the last one that's seen them, you don't start the damn answer off with, well, I'll tell you like I told everybody else. That's his family. That ain't everybody else. So no, I will never apologize to Christian Holden. So take your reports and all of your bullshit and turn it over to LE law enforcement all you want. Because guess what? I can sit on their front steps and hold my hands out and they still can't cuff me. I'm not worried. Damn it, Duchess, you just had to bring that up, dude.
I did, because I did. Listen, at least you got to rant, because listen, I was yelling earlier when I needed a Snickers. So I had to make me sound better by letting you yell a little bit, because everybody loves it when you yell. Look, who needs you? Somebody needs to straighten out somebody's boyfriend. Hang on. Where did I just see that? I want you to straighten my boyfriend. That's her other part-time job, but she'll call your boyfriend and straighten him out. So just hook up with AJ in the group. She'll listen. Now Jason's coming in because she needs a Snickers now. Yes. It's that kind of night, guys. Just all of those things frustrated me, and I didn't even get to the bottom of the letter. And by the time I got to the bottom, but I already knew that letter was written by, their own employees. Listen, if your own employees have to call you out, that is bad, y'all. That is bad.
That's right, Cam Chef.
That's bad. Yeah, it would be in his bit. Like we could have a lot of closure in this case from that standpoint already. But the way that the case was handled, we can't let that go. Because if we just go, okay, well, Christian Holden came and talked to the family and, they believe him or whatever they get out of that conversation. Let's just say that happens. Is that going to make it all okay, though? No, not for me.
Let's not sugarcoat this. No. Let's not sugarcoat this. Let me tell y'all something. Christian Holden called Todd Brown, and his first words to him were, if I need you, can you come? Then you had Barry Hayes pull up to him. He even offers Christian a ride, and Christian says, no, my friend is coming. Let me tell y'all something. If y'all don't think that in Christian's little Peabody ass brain, his whole concept wasn't hoping that TJ Brown would pull up first so he could hand that gun and those waiters off right then, you're crazy. Because that is exactly what the hell he was hoping would happen. He did not expect the rescue boat to get there so soon. And that is why TJ Brown pulled up in time to see them rescuing him off the rocks. His whole intention was to pass that gun off then.
Yeah, and I don't understand how law enforcement doesn't get there till what, 8 or 9 o'clock?
Try
And
about
then
9:42 is when the first LE showed up.
yeah, I thought it was after 9. I was trying to give him grace by saying 8, but I thought it was after 9.
Now, God forbid, like I said in my email, if Tyler would have floated to shore and had a damn gunshot wound in his back, what gun they gonna go test?
See, I don't even think they consider things like that, and
Which is a
that brought
damn ignorant ass cop. I'm sorry,
listen,
but
that
that's just how
brought
it
to
is.
light, when I as soon as I saw the article in October, I saw somebody posted it, in the group. There was, a shooting accident, a hunting accident in October, and
Say it
let's see,
again for
that
the
was
ones in the
what
back,
that was
counsel.
what, let's see, that was what, the 23rd? Oh, no, that was the 11th. That was the 11th. It was back towards the beginning of October. Um, yeah, a person was shot multiple times by their family member in a hunting accident. And of course, the
Wait, I'm
DNR,
sorry. How the hell do you get shot multiple times on a hunting accident?
see, this
What was he that
none
bad
of
of a
that
shot?
makes sense.
I mean,
Listen, it says
he
that they
shouldn't be hunting.
clarified 2 people were hunting on the same property when one of the hunters was shot by the other multiple times. That's in
Okay, see
quotes.
now I grew up in Mississippi. We wore orange vests and shit. So I don't know what they're doing.
Yes, Jenny, how does someone accidentally shoot you more than once? That's what I'm
Right.
saying. Okay, and then the DNR added that the 2 were family members and that initial information indicates the shooting was accidental and that the person was in the hospital in stable conditions and that there's no other details, but they're going to investigate. Well, we
I
know
bet
what
you the
that
one that pulled the trigger is mad that that person is in stable condition.
listen, I
That's
guarantee you
just my
that's not what
opinion.
happened.
Yeah, I bet you it ain't.
I'm telling you right now. And I saw somebody posted that in the group and I went, "Oh Lord, here we go." I was waiting to see how long it was going to take somebody to post that in there because I
Wait,
wasn't
did
going to post
somebody
it
just
in
say
there.
5 times? He got shot 5 times. Can we scroll up? I need to see that. Is that true? Correct? 5 times? Oh yeah, he definitely needs some shooting lessons. You shot I mean, it took you 5 times to realize he wasn't a deer. I'm confused.
I mean, this is crazy. And the fact that DNR is involved in this too, I mean, I'm getting bad vibes, guys. I mean, how do you get yourself involved in the craziest situations that never get resolved? And this is an accident. Like, I wonder how they, and I think there was another article on this said something about how they had to reconstruct the scene. You know who that is? That's Ronnie Floyd. He's all about reconstructing the scene. That's something that he actually said to me about, when Christian, he that was one of his big points. Well, I had him to reconstruct the scene twice. He told Shay the same thing. And
I call bullshit. I call bullshit. I don't think that. So has anybody? Maybe you'll know, Duchess. Did any? Supposedly, they went and got Christian and took him out there. I haven't found not one person that can say they seen this happen.
Cam Shaft, we will come look for you and Lean on Me. I think I see Lean on Me said that she wanted me to take charge. And AJ, you're hired. I saw Deborah said you're hired up here. Yeah, that whole situation's weird, Deborah. It just doesn't sit right with me. Sometimes I go out and sit on my dock and I think about all of these things, and it's like a big puzzle. Yeah, it could have been birdshot. But still, I mean, I don't know. None of that makes sense to me.
No, me neither.
Yeah, shot more than once can't be an accident.
I mean,
don't know.
I just don't understand. Was it a pretty day? From my understanding, it really wasn't. I mean, it was gloomy. So what the hell was TJ Brown doing out? Was he on a pleasure cruise too? Because that's supposedly what Barry Hayes was doing.
I don't know
I
how
mean,
in the
because
world
he
he's
had to
on a
be in the
pleasure
water.
cruise.
There's no way you can get your boat in that water and through that jet and out to that jetty in 13 minutes. It's not going to happen. I mean, I guess I can't say it's not going to happen, but I would assume that you would be stopped or something. But then again, SCDNR ain't doing their job anyway, so who's to say? Unless it's Duchess, and then, you know, they followed to mess with her.
I go on the water and the DNR just shows up. I'm
You know,
pretty
they
sure.
pass you in a boat and then they turn around and face you and pull you over. That is ridiculous.
Yeah, when I got out there waiting on Shay, they were already sitting out there, pulled up to my dock. And he's just sitting there on his computer, and he stays there until Shay and Chad arrive. I'm like, isn't that weird?
No, it's what's weird is the fact that he didn't continue to stay there and he actually follows you, passes you guys, and turns around and pulls you over. That's the weird part.
Yeah, because he said Chad was speeding in a wake zone or something. I don't even know. It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm not going to be able to go anywhere now. They're going to be like, that's that girl that's calling out Ronnie Floyd. I try to stay incognito when when I'm around town. Can I get Barry to talk? I haven't reached out to him. I have not reached out to him. I don't know how to contact him. I'm sure I could find out how to contact him. He probably doesn't.
But I can't.
He probably doesn't live far from me. I don't know if he'd be willing to speak to me or not, but I can certainly try.
I'll send you his address, Duchess.
Well, I'm not going to go to his house. I feel like that'd be a bit much, but I wonder if he's on Facebook or something.
I can't find him on there. I know that when all this first started, we looked, there was no Barry Hayes, and then all of a sudden there was one without a picture that just made a new account, and I don't know. But I can't find a phone number for him. I have an address, but
hell, he probably doesn't want to be found. I can't blame him.
I wouldn't want to be found either if I was telling people that Coast Guard told me to go back in dangerous waters and check on somebody, but Coast Guard has no record of that. I mean, that's weird too. I mean, I guess I've seen weirder things involved in this case. I don't know, but
I think it's in December. I can go back and pull it up. I sent it to AJ. But she's probably had 11 messages since then. Why don't we talk about the South Carolina Senate Bill 672, which just was introduced March the 23rd, and that is just a couple of days after Ronnie Floyd finally made the missing report for Tyler Doyle that this act went forward. I thought that was very interesting, and I thought you guys might want to know about that, especially if you live here in South Carolina, because it looks like this thing is kind of stagnant right now. Let me go back over here. I want to grab this. Oh, I actually already had it up. Okay. If you look right here, wait till you guys, make sure you guys can see this. The South Carolina Senate bill. It's in recess right now. It's a partisan bill that was introduced on March the 23rd of 2023. And it was actually introduced by Senator Rex Rice. It was referred to the Committee on the Judiciary for the Senate, and it was introduced and read, and that's all that's happened on this. And the summary of this is, it is to amend the South Carolina Code of Laws by enacting the Help Find the Missing Act and by adding Section 23-1-260 so as to define certain terms, provide circumstances when coroners or medical examiners must refer decedents' bodies for examination to SLED's Forensic Service Laboratory, which must retain and furnish certain information about the persons to the National Missing and Unidentified Persons System, to require the collection of dental records by law enforcement agencies of persons who are subjects of missing persons reports under certain circumstances, and to provide for the reporting of missing persons in certain databases, to require SLED to adopt rules relating to the dissemination of missing persons records, to provide law enforcement agencies may not establish or maintain policies which require a waiting period before accepting and investigating missing child reports, and must enter the reports into the National Crime Information Center. Y'all, it makes me sad reading that our state doesn't automatically do that and that we are having to enact this. That there's a waiting period before accepting and investigating a missing child report. Are you kidding me right now? To provide when missing persons are found, law enforcement agencies must inform SLED and the National Institute of Justice that the persons have been found, and to provide this section does not prohibit certain agencies and persons from maintaining case files related to missing citizens or unidentified bodies, and to provide SLED shall perform annually a compliance review of the provisions contained in this section. And down here is the actual State House bill, which talks about the Help Find the Missing Act. And this is where we are right now. It is only in the committee, it is 25%. How long you guys think it's going to be there? Because they have a lot of bills that they're waiting on right now. I was very surprised. And I'm surprised that none of this is already happening in our state. Do you have anything you want to add, AJ?
I just feel like they've already proven that as far as the missing, the people, the community, it's not, I mean, they proved that when it's not important to them. They prove that when they see what is a potential body, and just because they don't think it's Tyler, they don't dive. I mean, it's clear what's going on. Because another law passed in 2017 that totally just contradicted what you just read. The law that passed in 2017 says there is no waiting period at any time for anybody to be reported missing, that all it takes is for one person to assume that the other person that's supposedly missing is out of schedule. That's all it takes. And that law passed in 2017. So don't that contradict each other?
And look, right here on F, it says, whenever a law enforcement agency determines that a person is a missing citizen or that an unidentified living person may be a missing citizen, the law enforcement agency shall enter the report of the missing citizen in any database of missing persons currently required by their agency into any missing persons database utilized by SLED and into NAMUS.
Yeah, because it also says, if you read the bottom,
it also says that it's all supposed to be audited and reviewed by SLED. I bet you this case hasn't been reviewed by SLED.
Yeah, because it says on H right here, on H, it says the information contained.
They
right here
can
on
keep a
H.
copy of their files, but it still has to be reviewed by SLED.
Contained in SLED's missing person file shall be made available. So if they receive the missing citizens, it says that they have to use these databases. Well, Ronnie Floyd didn't even know who NAMUS was. How can you utilize something if your officers aren't trained to do it?
Ronnie Floyd thought that they were going to take the DNA from a hair sample. So that tells you enough right there. That is his words. It is recorded on my website. What do they do? Just take hair samples or something? Like, give me a break. He had no freaking clue what he was supposed to be doing.
If he would pick up the phone and communicate with Kathleen, I'm sure she would have been happy to assist
He had
in.
talked to her, Duchess, and then he couldn't even find her phone number.
Oh my gosh. He can't find the phone number. He can't find the SD card. I mean, this sounds like a reoccurring problem.
The man has he just does not care. I'm still to this day flabbergastedly tripping over this dang boat line because he makes sure to mention it. He makes sure to mention it in that half-ass report that he calls his official report, which, if anybody noticed, that's not even on letterhead. So my point with that is that can't be an official report because ain't no way you writing your report on some Word document form and it's not addressed to nobody. It's not signed. It's not nothing.
It seems like you would have to sign it, date it, make it an official document.
Not only that, but your chain of command has to sign off on it. And that didn't happen either.
Kat, that is exactly correct. Apparently, they don't know their own rules.
You think?
And it's always someone else's fault things aren't done. Well, we've seen that in the letter. I mean, the letter says everything. I mean, all you have to do is just interchange the names, basically, in the letter. And then we just fill in all of the things, the corruption. Because I guarantee you, this is not the only case that this has happened in. And you know who knows it better than me is other employees in the DNR. Because I guarantee you the reason that they don't say anything is because that exactly what was said in the letter. That letter is from those people because they had enough of this one person. But I guarantee you that he's not the only problem.
No, absolutely not. People are going to do at a job what they're allowed to do. If they've been allowed to do this, they're going to continue to do it because nobody's called them out on it. Like, yeah, the letters called them out, but it was sent to the community has not called them out. If the community says we're not going to take this anymore, because let me tell y'all something. Summer comes around every year, and it could be you, your children, anybody. It could be any one of y'all out there in that water and something happened. And if they're lazy about this, they're going to be lazy about you guys too. I don't go in the ocean, so I don't have to worry about none of that. Me and the ocean we're not friends.
It's rough, I promise you. That's
Yeah,
why I don't go out there unless I have to.
Because, I'll take your word for it. Your whole theory of crocodile, your story of crocodiles and all that, that's enough for me. I'm not doing it.
Alligators, not crocodiles.
Whatever. They the same thing to me.
Jaded. Thank you for being here, love. I appreciate you. That's why that letter I felt like is really going to seal the deal because I need you guys to know this is not a one-time off thing. And you have to remember Ronnie Floyd's been around for 17 years in the DNR. So he's been around since all of this jive with Alvin Taylor and this letter has been happening. He was there. He knows all about it. Do you think Ronnie Floyd knew about it and didn't say anything? Or do you think Ronnie Floyd was one of the disgruntled South Carolina DNR officers that was calling it out because he stands up for what's right? I don't think he was probably one of the anonymous people. Okay, I'm just going to say. He seems like the kind of person that's just going to be like, well, I can't get involved in that kind of thing. I think I nailed that. I think I nailed that accent. That just sounds like him, you know, because, well, and then insert Barney Fife.
I can't with you. I swear I can't with you.
I'm serious. It's like a Mayberry situation, and I can't. Y'all, this Myrtle Beach, South Carolina is a huge tourist. We have, I mean, during the summer, there might be 300,000 people here in a week, just for like 1 week. And that is, you know, from all over the world. We have people that come here. Like, it's not like we just live in some town that has 13 people in it and, you know, we just, this is how we do. No, it's not that. Like, this is serious. The fact that they don't have these sonar capabilities at easy access for the county could share that. Horry County Fire and Rescue at least needs to have that. But if Horry County Fire and Rescue is not out there searching and the DNR's over the investigation, well, they need that equipment, Robert Bulls. Where is the money for the sonar equipment, Robert Bulls? Because Alvin Taylor didn't think it was important. Obviously, maybe you haven't been out here to get on one of the South Carolina DNR boats to see for yourself exactly what you're dealing with. But if you would like, we can send you all of the information. I'll send you the links. You know, all the search and rescue and law enforcement that have marine stations like you guys. I mean, this is the equipment they have. They have the torpedo. They have the handheld AI detection, 300 yards. It can detect human flesh underwater. In a tourist attraction like this, they need to be able to find people with a quickness. Why would you not want to save people's lives? That Snickers didn't last long enough. I take it personal, guys, because these people are in my town, in my county. My tax money goes to these people. And it's an insult to the good law enforcement people that we do have, because that shows you right there are good and decent people that work for the DNR that do want to stand up. They do want to do the right thing. They do have integrity, but nobody's listening to them. So they got to go straight to the governor. Do you think anything happened? No, Alvin Taylor stayed in office until 2019, probably because they kept having to stay on his neck. And we have to do what we have to do to stand up for what's right, because Shay said the only thing that she wants out of this, she's not in it for the money. She doesn't want this to happen to another missing person on the water. That's what she told me. Because we just spoke on the phone just a couple nights ago, and that's what she told me. That's all she cares about, y'all. Because her family deserves justice. And families, whether they're here on vacation or they're residents here, their family deserves to be treated with respect. Their loved one deserves to be searched for. The case deserves to be handled with highest priority of finding that person. And we're going to see it through. We're going to see it through. And that's why we're here. To let them know that we are done accepting the minimum from the officers who don't want to do the job, because there's a lot of great officers out here and they don't deserve this. If you don't want to do the job, go find something else to do and let the officers who actually do want to help families come out here and do the job. Train your officers. Make sure they know what they're doing. Make sure they have the equipment that they need. And make sure they do things by the book so that the family isn't left with all of these questions. Because if things would have been handled appropriately in this investigation, the family would not have all of these questions. Well, why didn't this happen? Why did you do this? Why did we have to keep up with the names of the voters? Why did you not have them to bring all the decoys and everything to you so we could vet that it was Tyler's? You know, why did you put up Christian's phone records that he sent you on a text message or whatever? Why didn't you just go get the real phone records? You know, Ronnie has the authority to do that. He has the authority to make a command post. He has the authority to say, this is how we're going to work this missing persons investigation. If you're going to walk the walk and talk the talk, you got to walk the walk, Ronnie. You can't just be over there cheep, 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 like Barney Fife, and then you let the family down because you don't even know, oh, I went to school and I did this and I took this 1 month class about how to build TPs and all of that. Bullshit. I'm done. Nobody cares about that. What we care about is that when somebody goes missing, we want to know that the officer that's coming out to assist us has been trained and everything that he needs to know, and that we're going to be treated respectfully, and that things are going to be handled quick like and immediate, and that you're going to know what you're doing. I don't need you to build me a TP or show me how to build a weapon or tell me about crab life and all of that. Like, that's why they wanted the law enforcement to take over this case, but you wouldn't do it. So either shit or get off the pot. So Robert Bowles, this comes down to you, sir, because you're the one in charge and these are your employees. And I can't imagine that an educated man with all of these degrees in marine science, maybe you don't understand the law enforcement aspect of it, but maybe this is a sign that the wildlife conservation guys shouldn't be over missing persons investigations on the water. Just because it's on the water, they're not fish, they're people. So if you don't understand the magnitude of this, maybe you need to go get the education to understand that part of it so that you can make sure the people that you are supervising and directing get the education and training that they need to do the job to the best of their ability, or they need to hand it over to an agency that can do so. Because I want to know that people in my community are safe. And I want to be able to say, if you come down here, our officers are going to treat you with respect. And if something happens, they're going to handle it because our state knows what they're doing. And it's a shame that I can't say that. This is what makes me upset because this is my home. This is my home. This is where I live. And my husband works. Where the people that I love and care about live. And the Doyles are my family. And that's why I'm going to see it to the end. And that's why AJ's going to see it to the end. Because we can't allow this to happen. And I hope Robert Bull sees this live stream. Because I want to see this man of integrity take action to help this family. And to call into account Ronnie Floyd and Kevin Pardue and whoever else participated in the South Carolina DNR and the negligence on how this case was handled. And until I see that, then I definitely don't want you to be the director, because I can't get behind a statement that I don't think is true. They disrespected Danny Jewell. They disrespected Brad. They came all the way from Wisconsin to help search for Tyler. You know, your DNR officers could have gotten sonar and they could have got their own dive team out there to go search for Tyler, but they didn't. Why? Can you write me a letter and tell me about that? Can you go give us a statement on a TV news station? Do you got to do it publicly? I'll give you my address and phone number. You can send me a letter. You can send me an email. I'll give you my email address. You can call me on the phone. I'm a respectful person, and I'm willing to hear your side. But how can you in good conscience lay your head down on your pillow at night, knowing that you have people under you that are treating people in the community like this?
Not in good conscience. The man don't have a conscience. Clearly.
Listen, I'm trying to give Robert Bowles the benefit of the doubt. I'm trying my best to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Bowles, you might want to communicate with Duchess first, because
I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. But listen, if I can get on a podcast with Will Folks on Fitz News, I promise you this. It'll make your life difficult. You don't want to be Alvin Taylor all over again. Because that letter that I showed, I promise you, that's from the employees of the DNR. I highly advise you to go back and look and read that for yourself, because I am positive none of that was made up. Because who would take the time to write a letter to the governor and then tag a copy and say that all of these copies have been sent to all of these people and that it's signed by their own employees?
The governor's response. That's what I'm curious to know.
Oh, I didn't see that. All I saw was Alvin's response, but I would have liked to have seen that.
Maybe we should FOIA that.
I think that's a great idea. Governor Haley was governor at the time. That was in 2014, I think.
We should FOIA that.
I appreciate y'all hanging with me while I'm having my episode. It's an episode, y'all. Normally I'm very calm, but this just it just upsets me. You know. Thank you, Amanda. I hope you have a good night.
Good night, Amanda. Why did that just sound so weird?
Well, Melissa, that's a good question. I'm assuming it would have had to be an Horry County Fire and Rescue. AJ, did you say that it was on your FOIA because I didn't have it on mine? Remember, I was asking you about what was that dive that it was done on?
There was a couple of dives. So they say. But it was the link that was sent to you, that you sent to me. They said that
I was like, it was on the link I sent to you.
It was the dive where we looked it up last time we were on here, where it ended up showing the fire station, which made absolutely no sense. And then there's one that Miss Marie, New Start Homestead, had told us that was a completely different day. It was on there too, but it was when the guy said he'd been out there for an hour and a half and didn't see a boat. They went out there. Like, why would you dive on that, but you wouldn't dive on an image? I'm so confused on that.
Again, Robert Bowles, if you want to respond to any of these questions, we would love to know the answers. Because, you know, I also have been in the water. And if it hadn't have been for the people, like this is, and y'all, this is not about me, but this is my example, okay? When I had my incident, there was only one person with me, and you know what happened? He jumped in the water to save my life, and he stayed with me until someone found me. And you know what? If no one had found us, well, I guess we would have died together. But you know what? Someone found us. But in Tyler's case, someone was safe on the rocks and someone was in the water. Did someone jump in to get him? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Like, these are the thoughts that I have to lay down in my bed with myself at night because they're mine. It happened to me. Nobody else has to deal with that. I do. Yes, I still have nightmares. It's just something that it's why I have to go to therapy. This case, sometimes it bothers me, but that's why it drives me to keep pushing for answers for Tyler. Because if it hadn't have been for Sunset Beach Fire Department, I wouldn't have been rescued. They're the ones that came to get me, not South Carolina, where I came from. They weren't out there looking for me. It was Sunset Beach that was out there looking for me. But I came from Cherry Grove. So, you see what I'm saying? There's only two people in my incident, two people in Tyler's incident. The difference is one jumped in the water to save me. The other one didn't. He just stayed there. And it was the same time of year. My incident only happened 2 weeks after Tyler's incident. My incident was like 22 years ago, but still, it's the same temperature, water temperature, everything. That bothers me. Wasn't Horry County PD there on the scene first? I don't even remember Horry County. I don't remember any law enforcement being there until after 9 o'clock, according to Shay.
No, per the records, they weren't. Because here's the thing. I'm looking for this link that you had sent me on Messenger so I can read that. Because it says it in there. There's a whole timestamp of who arrived when they arrived.
That part, Ashley Baker. Most people who witness someone struggling in the water jump in to save them. It's human nature. CH made zero attempt to get to Tyler. It just bothers me, guys, simply because I've been through it. It's only because I've been there. Otherwise, I don't know that I could even speak to that because I've never been in that situation.
What's his excuse, though?
I don't know.
Because he wasn't scared. Because if he was scared, he would have got his ass off the rocks when Barry tried to take him off.
Yeah, why didn't he leave with Barry? Why did he say he was waiting on his friend that was coming? Like, why did he have to do that?
Yeah,
he could have also walked off the rocks. We've proven that. You guys have seen me and Shay and Chad on the rocks. You've seen Shay and Brian on the rocks. You can walk off the rocks, guys, to safety. Yeah, it's a bit of a hike, but you can still walk to safety, to where there's houses, and knock on somebody's door. Camshaft says, I have thought that the reason Ronnie Floyd wouldn't let anyone dive, because if it was Tyler, then no one would know what really happened to Tyler. Because I don't think he drowned. It just doesn't sit right with me. Like, see, if all the T's were crossed, all the I's were dotted, all the protocols were followed, we wouldn't have all of these questions. You know, but then there's all these what ifs because I don't think anybody even bothered looking into anything. Jenny said if it had even been a stranger, I would have tried to save them. Well, that's because you're a good person. And that means a lot to know that you would do that. That you give your life for someone else, you know? And it just bothers me that Christian didn't even try to do anything. And I'm just speaking from someone who's had their life saved, you know? I think that's the part that really bothers me and why I always did want to hear what, like he can't ever say to me that I don't know what I'm talking about because you know what? He's not ever been the one in the water and I have. So the person that he was safe on the rocks, but he jumped in the water to save me. So why didn't you help him?
Oh, so I don't know if y'all are aware of this, but I'm glad I found this because this just reminded me of something. Let me tell y'all about this bullshit. I'm so sorry, Duchess, but I just seen this and I'm really mad about it now that I remember to be mad because now I read it and remembered that it was there. So per Deputy Chief Winburn, anything dealing with the missing person Tyler Doyle needs to be referred back to DNR no matter what. Make that shit make sense. That's what it says in this report.
And who's Winburn?
The hell if I know.
Is he from North Carolina?
Yeah, apparently. No, he's from South Carolina. Chief Winburn said Sergeant Reams has been instructed to speak with the mother and advise her of the situation. What? Dudley is making contact with Kevin Perdue with DNR to find out the status of the call. Because I spoke with Dudley a second time and he advised that the captain told him a second time that Horry County PD was not doing the UCR. Make it make sense. Oh,
that's because Ronnie Floyd stepped in and said, this is our case.
Yeah, that part.
Water. But that, see, we know that's not always true because Coast Guard took over that one case for that little girl that died. So, Ashley thinks he's with Horry County PD. I know Jeff Gore was. And, yeah,
you guys, if you hear my dog barking, I'm so sorry. He knows when people are coming up the stairs before people even get to the stairs. So I'm confused about that. But yeah, that's what this report says.
You know me very well. Lean on me. Just it breaks my heart, you know?
Missing person under 21. If person is under 21 of age, please follow NCIC missing person protocol. Oh my God.
You think he's with Horry County PD? Cool. Thank you, Jason. Sorry for my rant, Jason, earlier. I think Jason's law enforcement, possibly. There's a lot of great law enforcement officers that we have, and I have a lot of respect for them and the work that they do. And, you know, to read that letter, that the DNR had to write themselves because of the corruption that was going on. Like, that burns bad. There's 450 employees in the DNR. There's no telling how many that was. When your own employees have to call you out by going to the governor, something is broken. And it's those kind of officers that make these kind of officers right here get a bad name. And nobody should ever intimidate anyone else to not come forward when they see something happening that they know is wrong. That's wrong. This manipulation and power game has got to stop. And there's so many officers that put their lives on the line and do such a wonderful job in our community. But it's other officers that don't do their due diligence, that don't take their job seriously, that don't have integrity. That hurt the force. And the DNR officers, how they handle cases like this, it still reflects on all law enforcement. And I hate that. That's why it's so important to stand up for what is right, because these guys put their life on the line. When evil enters, said, the good Lord will eventually shine the light on the darkness. The faith of a mustard seed will move mountains. Keep the faith in the prayers. Thank you, when evil entered. So glad to see you here. I think I saw you back up here in chat a little ways. I've been on a rant tonight, y'all. I'm so sorry. I'm emotional. You've always heard no body, no crime, and no one will be charged for the crime. Well, I think that might be true in certain cases. You think that every single person that gave Tyler a hard time should be questioned? Listen, like I said, the family is willing to accept if an accident happened. They're willing to accept that, but they do have questions. And I hope that one day they'll be able to get the answers that they deserve. Shay never wants this to happen to anybody else. And I don't either. I want to know that if somebody goes in that water, that every possibility, every search, that if they have the right sonar, they have the right people that are willing to do the work, that are willing to search for the person, that they know what they're doing, and that they actually care. That's what this community needs.
I agree with you, Christine. But Tyler was a rare breed. Believe that. He was one of the good ones.
And I also wanted to say thank you to Pam Strickland for auctioning off the ACR beacon.
Yes.
If you guys are not joined onto the Spinning Hope group on Facebook, she auctions off these different, I don't know, you'll have to explain how it's done, AJ, exactly. But this is the beacon that she actually sent me a message and asked me, what is the type of beacon that you're looking for? And I said, well, for Tyler's beacon. And I said, well, really, we would like to have a beacon that's very similar to the ACR. And the ACR actually retails for about $395, guys. And this GPS, you can actually log in 911, your local law enforcement agency. And even, I think it gives you like 5 numbers. It may be more than that with this ResLink. And when you hit the button, like, it will actually activate and send out that SOS call to anyone that you have entered into this system. So thank you, Pam, for auctioning that off. How exactly does that work, AJ?
Which part? The beacon?
No, the auction, like when she auctioned it off, who actually won that, and how did she do that? She splits that up between like 50 slots, or
it's what she does is, and it's not just for this. She did this one for Tyler, just out of the kindness of her heart. But let me tell y'all something about this Miss Pam Strickland. I went over to her page, I guess it was probably 4 or 5 days, maybe a week ago. And I'm telling y'all, this is all this woman does. And you have to have a huge heart to mess with these people off Facebook, let me tell you. But that's all she does. She finds families. I know that she did a roof for somebody. She finds families that are in need, that are really, truly in need. And she'll do different charity events. Like she'll say, okay, we're going to have a 50-50. And the spots, right now she's doing it for a teacher that has cancer. Nobody asked her to do it. She does it. She will go and find these families or people that, are in need. And she'll say, this vote's going to be like $1, or sometimes if it's a higher item, then it'll be like $2 or $3. It just depends on what the item is. And then after everybody's bought their spot, she has this little wheel thing that she goes live and she spins the wheel and see what number it lands on. And then that's how she determines the winner. But it's always for the best cause. I promise you. I've read through all of her spinnings, and what she does is really amazing. And I encourage any of you to please go over there and check it out.
Yes. When Evil entered, there are some that are more affordable. I think the one that has a decent amount of battery on it, and I think you can plug in one number, is like $110. And I don't know the range that it will reach, or I think the ACR, let me look it up to see what depth and temperature.
For Arduino. So anybody that knows programming can build one.
The ACR, let's see. Some of the differences that in this one of the reasons that I liked it, and it's a personal locator rescue beacon. And it says, let me see here. It's buoyant. It's been engineered and tested to withstand the harshest elements. It requires no subscription for use and can be utilized to enhance your safety in a wide variety of environments, whether on land, at sea, or in the air. The ACR Electronics Rescue Link 400 buoyant personal locator beacon delivers precision you can trust and puts rescue in the palm of your hand. Strobe and infrared strobe option enhance visibility, while GPS and Galileo GNSS communication abilities, along with MEOSAR compatible global coverage, ensure you can bring it anywhere with confidence. It has a 5-year battery life with up to 24-hour operational life, and it can withstand under -4 degrees in the water.
That means as long as you're somewhere you can see the sky, you can be located.
Yeah, because it hits off satellite.
Yep.
And that is incredible. And that's why it costs so much, because these other ones do not work off of satellite. And I guess that's why it's so expensive. I mean, there is, there's different, like there's some strobe lights and different things that you can have. And I think all of those would be critical to have. But I mean, this personal locator beacon, there's a smaller version one, but it's still in the $300 range. I don't know if you could get them cheaper on Amazon. But I don't know. I feel like the DNR or whoever oversees this, if they were to ever approve
makes
something.
$1.6 million a year off renting land for monkeys to be tested. They can afford them.
For the ones in the back that didn't get that message.
I'm just saying, you guys.
It's the truth. It's the truth. And I also wanted to thank you again for the sweatshirts that you're making. Are you getting a lot of orders in?
Yes. And I have 4 new designs that is going up tonight. And the bumper stickers are going up tonight.
Now,
the window decals.
but so far, this is the only one that's on the website so far?
No, that one, and then the purple one.
Oh, you have another one on there?
There's 2.
Let me
I think
go.
it's the same design that's on there
I
right now.
haven't been on there today. Let me go on there
that
today.
design right there is up there yet. I think it's just the purple one that's up there. The orange design's not up there yet.
I'm going over here to the group. So let's share. I'm going to share my screen.
And if you do order from the site, the hoodie's up there and the sweatshirt is up there. I mean, the hoodie and the t-shirt. If you prefer a long sleeve t-shirt, just put it in the notes so I know. There's no separate order that you have to do or anything like that.
So we just go to pullover hoodie?
Mm-hmm. And then both of them should show up. The t-shirt. So if you want the t-shirt long sleeve, you order the t-shirt, then you just put it in the notes if that's you want it long sleeve. So see, it's the orange design that's not up there yet.
It looks great.
Yeah, there's going to be a couple of designs that go up there.
Yeah, I can't wait to get my sweatshirt for real. I'm so excited about that. And hubby's getting his
the order because the DTF, the person doing the DTF, their company is actually like right down the street from my house. And the DTF is just so much better, you guys. It's not that iron on with that feely material that cracks and all of that. So it'll be
7 to 14 days for delivery, and all proceeds are to support Tyler Doyle and helping his family get answers.
The only thing being withheld from the price of the sweatshirts is the price of the DTF, which is less than $7, and the $3 and something that it's going to cost to package it up and send it and do all of that. That's it. Everything else goes straight to Shay.
We totally understand. 7 to 14 days.
Yeah, it probably won't take that long, to be honest with you, though. But we know how we have these certain people in the group that would just love to start something. So I put that just for, like, I have 4 ready to go out now that I have to put out. But I wanted to be safe because we all know that there's just people that just are not happy unless they're starting drama.
100%. So I know people have been messaging me, a lot of people, about the t-shirts that I was going to have someone to make for Shay. And I did speak to Shay about that. We've waited for, quite a few weeks, and I don't have an update on that yet. Now, I did let her know that I do have a Teespring, and the cost of the t-shirts and stuff, I mean, I can't promise you like that they won't be. I mean, they're not going to be cheap, but I've bought my own products from Teespring, and the material and stuff is really soft. It's good material, and I told Shay that if she wanted to, that I would be able to take the design that I made for Tyler and put it onto a shirt. And that if she needed me to, that I would be able to make them through my Teespring, and that any profits that I made off of that, I would give her all of it. I'll let her have access to the analytics, and she can see exactly what it is, and I'll just give her the money because I want her to be able to use that to get an attorney or whatever she's going to need in order to fight this case. Do you want me to show a shirt that I made to see what it would look like? I think I have one. And as soon as I get the okay to do it, then I will let you guys know. But it's the same shirts. Are you there, AJ?
Yeah, I kept trying to talk with my mute button on, but I'm here.
She did that before, y'all. She sent me a message in the private chat, and she was like, "Why can't you hear me?" I said, "Because you're muted." Oh my gosh! So should I go ahead and show the shirt?
Yes, please.
Okay. So this is the long sleeve shirt, and that's going to be on the back. And I just need to know what you guys think about that design. Is it a yay? Is it a no?
I like the design. I told you that the other day. I do like the design.
And then I don't know if I uploaded one with the front pocket, but on the front pocket it just has Justice for Tyler Doyle, 38 strong, and like an orange emblem. And I'll share that, with you guys. And get your thoughts and opinions on it. And so there's going to be like a regular t-shirt, and there's going to be like a women's t-shirt, and we would have like the long sleeve shirt, and then we would also have like the hoodie. And it would be in white, gray, and black. I just kept it really generic. So, and as soon as she lets me know, we can try to get something off the ground, because I'm getting blown up about it. And I don't make t-shirts, guys. Like that's not my thing. But I have a t-shirt company that does all my own t-shirts for my channel. So I can just put it through there, and then I can just give Shay the profits to that. Even if it's just off the sale of my own t-shirts, like I'll still give her the money, because I just want to help her be able to fight this case. Because justice is important for Tyler and for this family. So that's what we do for our family. We sacrifice,
That is true.
And that she deserves it. This family deserves it, so we can get answers.
They haven't asked for anything. This was solely this, and that's another thing I want to speak on. So remarks were made about the whole donation. Let me explain something to y'all. Shay and them have never asked for anything, ever. But here's my thing. A lot of us have invested a lot of time into this case. And I know that not everybody has it, but those that do, if we can make just one little part of this, all of this, just a little bit easier for them, don't try to make that into a bad thing. Don't do that. Because that's not okay. They've never asked for anything. Nobody out of that family has. So if we do something, if we hold a donation drive, if we like the same thing with the Beacon, as soon as that was done, Miss Pam directly sent that over, and it got sent directly to them. She didn't even know what it was. I had to explain it to her because she wasn't expecting that, because she don't ask for anything. We do this because if we can do one thing to make it a little bit easier, why not? Why not?
I agree. I agree. Thank you, Allie. I appreciate that. Wait, you're built like an apple? We love apples. Thank you, Michelle. I appreciate that. I wanted you guys to have something, and I want to give back to you guys, because I have so many people asking me. Any luck on finding an attorney yet? I don't know. I don't know the status of that. There's been calls that are made, and it's still in the works. That's all I can say about that right now.
This goes back to not showing your hand, but I promise you it's in the works. You can't say just because you've had a consultation with some. First of all, I'm not okay with just accepting any attorney around that area. So the main problem is there's only a few that are licensed to practice in both North and South Carolina. And now it's just down to a drawing game of who's going to be better. because getting somebody right there in that area, it's the same thing like what happened with the PI, Duchess. You remember that. What was the first thing out of his mouth? The PI that y'all talked to, the private investigator.
The local guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. The first thing he started out with was, well, you know, this is an open and shut investigation. And then I was done with the conversation at that point.
Yeah. And it's the same thing with a lot of the attorneys. I mean, people, it's a good old boy system, and people have people in their back pocket, and we're not going to play that game.
Yeah. Yeah, Camshaft, I did see your post. And Shay did make a really sweet post about Tyler, and I don't know that I can pin it. You can ask AJ if she's able to pin the post.
I can.
Because when I went to it, I tried to look to see if I would be able to pin it, and for some reason, I don't think I was able to do that. And I was like, well, maybe somebody's already pinned it, and that's why I can't pin it.
I'll make sure it gets up there and stay at the top.
Trying to find it. She posted a really sweet picture. And I'll share it. I'm sure she won't mind at all. Shay says, one day you were just living life as you do every day, and then all of the sudden, your entire world is turned upside down. This wonderful human who was born so good just can't be found. How on earth is that even possible? How can law enforcement allow the only other person there not to be detained and have his belongings taken into investigation? They let another man take his firearm and waiters. He refused to speak to the family. There never was an investigation by South Carolina DNR. Ronnie Floyd has been captured on my Ray-Ban stories many times, saying Tyler is dead and in heaven. Well, Mr. Floyd, you proved to our family you were wrong week after week, saying his body would surface. Denied our family the decency of letting Mr. Danny get Tyler out of the waters you say he drowned in. You denied us justice for Tyler from day one, and now we have your superior not answering emails, telling lies about funds spent to search for Tyler, and FOIA requests are being denied because of the lack of documentation. Every single day we face is a struggle. My precious nephew will have the last say in this battle between laws that makes no sense. Every single person who failed this precious child who we love with all our hearts will be held accountable. Don't waste your time trying to get things together for your benefit now. Everything has been documented. I never in a lifetime thought this would happen to my nephew. Every single one of the people who are behind any wrongdoing to this precious life should be worried. Everything has been documented, recorded, and in place. Hashtag Tyler Doyle Strong. Hashtag Justice for Tyler Doyle.
Okay, Duchess. Yeah.
You know, I saw that picture that Shay shared of Mr. Ricky when she was a kid, her and Brian, in front of his race car. When somebody asked the significance of 38, and the 3 is for Dale Earnhardt, and the 8 is for Dale Jr., 38. And when I saw the picture of young Mr. Ricky, I mean, it was like looking straight into Tyler. I can't believe how much they look just alike. Incredible. And I know he's heartbroken over this. Robert Bulls, you see this face? This is why we're fighting. And I'm going to need you to take this extremely seriously. And actually take a look at what we're saying. And actually do your research. And figure out why Ronnie Floyd did exactly what he did. There needs to be a call to action because it's wrong. I've even spoken to a couple of other law enforcement officers who told me that Ronnie Floyd did not handle this case appropriately. And if you don't handle this, I don't think it's going to end well for somebody. It's not going to be me, and it's not going to be the Doyle family. Because you're responsible for him. And somebody's going to hold him responsible. So I'm asking kindly, Mr. Bulls. There's going to be a lot of people reaching out to you. Because we've already reached out to the governor. And we're not going to stop. We're going to make sure everybody that needs to have a copy of all of the information, all of the phone calls, all of the videos, all the laundry list of things that were missed, that were not done appropriately. Oh, yeah, there's things that we have that people don't know we have. And we want you to see it. Because you got to see it to believe it. You got to hear it to believe it. Tyler Doyle deserves justice so that families in the future don't have to go through what the Doyle family has been through for the last 10 months. Yeah, I just designed mine. It's that link has not been shared yet. I'm just waiting to get approval for us to go ahead with that, and I will let you guys know as soon as we're able to do that. Yeah, what he did or didn't do. That's right. Brian drove 38, so Tyler's 38 Jr. That's exactly right. That's how the 3 and the 8 came about. I appreciate y'all joining us tonight. Do you have anything else, AJ, that you want to talk about?
No, I think that's it.
I think we've covered a lot. And I hope we've gotten the attention of some people that need to know it because, listen, I stand with law enforcement. And I stand with these people at DNR that have had to write this very difficult letter on behalf of some corruption involving Alvin Taylor. Nobody should ever have to do that. And that's probably not the only incident of that. I'm going to be looking into it. And I do hope that Will Folks from Fitz News will reach out to me. Because I think AJ and I can have a really interesting conversation with him. He's going to want to know about a lot of this. I think he's a big one to call out corruption, especially after what Murdoch has done. Listen, Robert Bulls, I'm telling you right now, you don't want the big time media to get wind of this. We already know. We already know that the DNR has other cases involving mishandling of funds. We'd like for you to clean it up and get rid of that trash that's clogging up our system and hire some good, decent officers to help the good, decent officers that you currently employ. Because we want a better South Carolina. And we want better for all states. If you have a story like this and you need a place to come and talk about the corruption where you are, reach out to me and let me know. Because I guarantee that this isn't the only place in the state of South Carolina or in other states where this is happening. I know it's happening in Kentucky. Me and Crystal have talked about it. I know it's happening in Tennessee. Me and Michelle have talked about it. We've talked about it on the Summer Wells case. When Evil Entered knows all about it. We won't back down, Lindsay. I do hope so, Camshaft. Y'all please keep the Doyle family in your prayers. They really, really, really need your prayers. If y'all could drop some prayer hands and hearts in the chat. For Mr. Ricky, Miss Linda, for Shay and her family, for Brian. And pray for Lakeland and Reed too. Even if you don't want to, do it anyway. Pray for Lakeland's little girl, because she needs it. It doesn't matter if you love somebody or hate somebody. I incline you to please pray for these people. Pray for Christian. If I can't win them over, I'm just going to pray for them. Because I pray that their hearts be changed and that they feel like they need to do the right thing for whatever reason, whatever it is that they need to do. So that Tyler can have whatever justice it is that he deserves. So this family can have peace. Whatever that might look like for them. Because for each person, it's going to look different. It's going to feel different. It's going to take a different amount of time to grieve this entire situation. It may be something that some people might grieve for an entire lifetime. But just having certain answers, you might give them some type of peace. So I'm going to pray for all of y'all with good intention. Because we need answers for Tyler and his family. Because they're like my family. And Ronnie, I'm even going to pray for you. And Gadones. And Kevin. All y'all.
Yeah, you had me up to that statement.
Okay.
No.
Well, listen, AJ, if AJ don't want to pray for you, then it is what it is. I'm going to pray for you, but I'm going to tell you what, because my husband, he's a praying man. But
No,
it's very
I'm
difficult to be praying for you,
Yes,
Ronnie. And listen, and we're going to pray for you, Ronnie. We're going to
gonna
pray
pray
with
that he
all our
does the
might.
right thing. That's all I can say. And you're right. God does say pray for your enemies, Michelle.
Amen.
You're right.
He does. Amen. He does. And that's what we got to do, guys.
To sit here and pray that God brings him no prosperous retirement and all of that. No, we ain't doing nothing.
Listen, we don't fight against people. We fight against spirits and principalities.
Morals and
spirits in high places. And that's what we got going on here. We got people in high places with this spirit of IDGAF. Okay, no. We're done with that. It's time to get right with Jesus and get answers for this family.
That right there. Thank you, Crystal. God's amazing. Yeah, that was perfectly said.
Thank you, Crystal. So that's why I'm just encouraging y'all to just pray. I'm gonna have my husband to pray. And I pray that everyone will have a wonderful week. Go out there and be kind to somebody. Pay it forward to somebody in the name of Tyler. What would Tyler do? Just like what would Jesus do? Because, you know, when I think about what Tyler would do.
Oh, I like that.
Tyler would go out and help somebody. He would go out there and be for his friend. He would go out there and defend somebody who was the underdog. He would go out there and say, don't let these people bother you. You don't need them. You know, you got to keep moving forward. You got to keep doing your best. You got to, you know, keep focused on the task. That's what Tyler would do. And so when you go out this week, I want you to do what you do and say, well, what would Tyler do in this situation? Would Tyler go and attack somebody or do something hateful to somebody? Probably not. Now, would he call somebody out on their BS? Probably, because I'm just going to say it because I do know the Doyle family. You realize this, right? Mm-hmm. And if you're listening, you know I'm talking about you, sis. Should tell you like it is in a minute. And I guarantee you Tyler was like that too, because he doesn't play around, see, and neither does Shay. She don't play around with that craziness. She'll just tell you like it is. And see, I don't play around either. It does take zero effort. But for some people, they be putting in too much effort, and that's why they be extra. We ain't got time for that. If you want to be extra, go do something extra for somebody else. Don't be selfish. Don't make it all about you. Pay it forward in the name of Tyler. I'm just want to encourage you to do that, because I think you might find that you get blessed by blessing somebody else, because I know I always get blessed when I bless somebody else. When I pay it forward, I always get the blessing, because God's good like that. So I just invite you, because heavy is the crown that you have to wear when you're doing the Lord's work. And listen, life is not always easy. It doesn't always turn out the way that we think that it's going to be. Life is hard, but we have to keep going. Tyler is not here to keep fighting for the truth and for justice, so we've got to fight for him. We have to be Tyler's voice. So if we're going to be Tyler's voice, then we have to think, what would Tyler do? So let's go out this week and try to be more like Tyler and pay it forward. And I hope everybody has a wonderful evening. AJ, thank you so much for being here. I've got a special outro song by DAUGHTRY that I made. And the name of the song is Heavy is the Crown. And I don't know if anybody's a DAUGHTRY fan, but DAUGHTRY is from my neck of the woods where I grew up. And my sister actually used to do his wife's hair. And he would come in the shop. A super nice guy. She has his picture with her at the house. But this song, I was just listening to his album this week when I was trying to have some downtime. When I'm doing my best thinking, I turned to music and I was listening to this album. And this song really stuck with me. So I wanted to use it in my outro, and I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I did putting this song together. So please put some prayer hands in the chat for the Doyle family to take us out of here. I hope you all have an amazing week, and we will see you next Sunday. So take care, everyone. Bye, y'all.
Never needed any reason to find deliverance. Like a cancer running through my veins. Oh, it's never gonna give in. See 'em march like lambs to the slaughter. Toy soldiers line up on the altar. I was never meant to drink that water. They'll remember me when I'm underground. Heavy is the crowd. Never falter, never let them bleed you out. I'll be still standing when they try to bring my castle down. I'll never bow down. Heavy is the crown. Heavy is the crown. Heavy is the crown. Oh, heavy is the crown. With the weight of the world crashing, pushing you closer to the edge. You find a way to get a little bit stronger, to fight off the demons, yeah. See 'em march like lambs to the slaughter. Toy soldiers line up on the altar. I'll rise, hell or high water, and you'll remember me when I'm underground. Yeah. Heavy is the crown. Never falter, never let them bleed you out. I'll be still standing when they try to bring my castle down. I'll never bow down. Heavy is the crown. Everything will fade away. Nothing in this world is meant to stay. Heavy is the crown.